Well, Nikki Rod, welcome back to the UFC Apex for yet another Fight Pass Invitational. How's it feel to be back in Las Vegas?
Feels great. I'm excited to go out there and do what I do every day.
If I'm not mistaken, your first FPI was the Absolute Tournament, which you won. Now you come back for your second 1v1 match. What is the change in strategy and mindset when it comes to only having to go up against one person?
For me, I really don't change much when it comes to competing, but I definitely implement different things in training so that I can keep evolving as a grappler. In the sport of jiu-jitsu, knowledge is power, and I do my best to learn as much as possible.
Where do you think the biggest spot of evolution has happened since we saw you in December?
For me, I like to evolve. I like to be a very well-rounded grappler. I like to have the ability to work from bottom, top, pass guard, and submit my opponent. As a whole, I would just say I've evolved in all aspects of jiu-jitsu, and I'm doing my best to be as well-rounded as possible.
Now this matchup against Roberto Mendez, what can fans expect to see in this one?
Nikki Rod versus Roberto Jimenez, you can anticipate a very offensive match from both opponents. Roberto is an IBJJF weight class champion and is absolute world champion. So, with those medals, he has awesome credentials. He's a attack-heavy opponent, and I think that feeds very well towards my game plan.
What's the biggest thing you have to be careful of?
For me, I really don't think I have to be careful about anything. I think my goal is just to go out there and implement my game plan, my intention upon my opponent, and win in a dominant fashion. And when the submission comes, I will definitely take advantage of it.
Well, events like these definitely give you guys a stage to shine on. It's great to see the sport of jiu-jitsu growing worldwide, but especially in the United States. When it comes to competing on events like this to help grow the sport, what comes to mind for you?
As a team at B Team Jiu-Jitsu, we do our own due diligence in growing the sport with social media, with YouTube, Instagram, etc. We try to put as much media and content out there as possible, and I think that's why we work well with a company like UFC, because here at UFC Fight Pass, you guys understand the value of social media on all platforms. So we do our best to take advantage of it and help each other out in that aspect.
And to have so many of your B Team teammates on this card with you, what does it mean to get to come from Austin and show up with your team?
Well, in my personal opinion, it's definitely a lot more fun to do battle with your friends, with your teammates, right? It's like similar to, we don't have the advantage of being on a football team where we can compete together simultaneously, but at least for me, it's good enough to go out there, see my teammates, especially my brother. I have a younger brother, Jacob Rodriguez, that's going to be competing on the card as well, and I'm very excited to see his evolution, his progress that he's made in the past few months or past 4 years.
And Craig earlier mentioned that between you two, it's often a battle of egos. He says he's been reminding you daily that you're the co-main event. But he did mention he gets a little self-conscious when it comes to, you taking off the shirt and stuff. So when it comes to it, main event, looking better without a shirt off, which do you take?
Well, when it comes to Craig Jones, I try to keep his confidence very high. I'm the guy in the practice. I give him compliments all the time. I just try to keep him on a pedestal because he's easily to be crushed mentally. You know what I mean? So I try to keep him mentally sharp so that he can go out there and compete as the best version of himself.
If fans are tuning in for the first time to watch jiu-jitsu on Sunday, what should they expect?
If fans are tuning in to watch jiu-jitsu this Sunday, they can expect, first of all, a phenomenal production by the UFC, and you guys did a great job of putting an awesome card together of opponents that look to go out there and find the submission. So you will see a lot of techniques at the highest level and hopefully some submissions soon after.
Well, we love it. It all goes down this Sunday, UFC Fight Pass Invitational 6.